Hello there everyone, and happy Monday to all of you. I hope the weekend treated you well, and I do sincerely hope that this week is going to treat you well as well. Thank you again to everyone who's been so very patient while I wasn't well last week. I'm sure if you listened to last week's video, you would hear that I'm sounding a lot better. Yeah, but otherwise, we are dealing with some heavy energies. We're still in this Mercury retrograde, but it is on its way out, which is such a blessing. I think that's the 11th of August. And in the middle of all of that, we have the Lion's Gate portal, which peaks on the 8th of the 8th. So this is when we have sun alignment between the Sun and Orion. It aligns with the pyramids of Giza. It's quite an auspicious time, and it is said to open up a portal for us to download important information, for us to be able to manifest more. And I must say that from doing energy sessions, not only for myself, but for others over the years, it really has been a very powerful time. So there are bookings open. All of the energy sessions I offer are available for that night, but I must just please advise that I do only have a limited amount of capacity to do these energy sessions, so that I can actually give you good quality in terms of the amount of energy that I can put out there. All right, so that will include things like negativity purging, relationship healing, any work on any of your chakras that you want me to work on, if you feel like you've got a blockage or something is not right, specific intentions for getting a job or the right house at the right price, customized intention setting. I can do that for you as well. I just need to have enough time. So that is why I always have cut off the day before. So the 7th, the evening of the 7th will be cut off. I will not take any orders or be able to basically take any more after that evening. And if I get to capacity before that, I will have to unfortunately put a note out there to say no more bookings for the 8th of the 8th. Okay, so hopefully we don't get to that point, and hopefully I can accommodate everybody, but sometimes it gets a bit intense, and I don't want to do half a job when my energy's at halfway. Okay, so let's see. We're going to go with these first. This is the Earth Magic Oracle, and I just want to see what kind of energies we're dealing with for this week ahead. Okay, what energies are we dealing with this week, please? Rebirth. This is kind of the theme. All right, this is a very strong theme at the moment, where we can set intentions, we can bring things to an end that are like karmic cycles with certain people, with family issues that we have. And what I mean by that is like family karma, where we have a karma attached to whether our family is not very abundant in terms of money or opportunity, or if our family has a health issue that it's been ingrained in us, is running in the family. These are kind of karmic things that we can change and we can take control of. We can decide they end with me. All right, so this rebirth is vitally important for us to be focusing on now, because there is a huge concentration on being able to end these kind of cycles. That's great. Great way to start. Some of my clients had that card this week, actually, in their readings. Volatility, volcano. All right. So this can be slightly explosive energy. If you look very carefully, there's actually a man and a woman, I think, or two people in this picture. So it shows that ability to have maybe a volatile situation we're dealing with one of our loved ones, maybe our partner, but also there's passion here. Okay, so passion can be channeled in different ways. We want to make sure that we're channeling our passion in a positive way. When we're getting passionate about something and we are becoming volatile and we are aggressive, that's not really ideal, and it's very much, unfortunately, the kind of energy that comes with a Mercury in retrograde, because there's misunderstandings, miscommunication, people not you might be saying something and you're like, how does this person not understand what context I mean this in? This is the kind of thing that Mercury retrograde does to us. It messes with electronic communication, verbal and written communication, and it can make things a bit complicated and thus make things a little bit volatile. All right, so yes, this is a little bit of a warning to guard against that. What else are we dealing with, please? Reflection. Okay. So that kind of follows on from our volatility. We need to self-reflect. We need to be looking in the mirror when we're acting in certain ways, when we're doing certain things. This is also a good time to review what can we look at that needs to be changed within ourselves that will be for our own good. What's going to benefit us? Let us reflect on the past without it affecting us too much, but enable us to use it to live more purposefully in the future. What can we do that can change things? What can we leave behind as well? If we're always living in the past, or we're always reflecting on the past in a negative way, oh, I miss that person, or that's what that person did to me, and I will never forgive them. That's something that really holds you back. That is what prevents you from a rebirth. Okay. Also, not taking ownership for certain things. This is what this card is really saying to me, is like self-reflection. When we are complaining about something or pointing a finger at somebody, we also need to remember to self-reflect, because we often are projecting something that we need to heal within ourselves. And that's something that people absolutely hate to hear. And it's one of the biggest things that human beings are in denial about, myself included. All right, I'm not here preaching to anybody. I'm not innocent. I'm also working on myself every single day. And that's what we all need to do. And this is a good time for that, because it will have this volatility and stuff that comes up. It does want you to have that rebirth, but you have to be willing to have that reflection. Reflection on things from the past. What do you need to let go of that's just going to be better for you if you don't hold that grudge or you don't hate that person? It doesn't harm you when it doesn't harm that person when we hold on to something like that. It only harms us. It's time for us to put that down so we don't carry that heaviness with us anymore. That's what's going to bring the rebirth. Okay, so when we are projecting or complaining about somebody, or she or he's this and that and the next thing, look at ourselves honestly and let's say, well, do I do that? And am I complaining about something that I also do? Because a lot of the time, if we are very brutally honest with ourselves, the answer will be yes. Because without reflection, it becomes projection. We're projecting something we don't like about ourselves. Okay, and that can very much happen during this time as well, because people tend to be volatile and say exactly what they think. And often they say what they mean that they've been holding in. So watch out for that as well, because you could learn some truths. What else do we need to know or focus on this week, please? Okay. All right, so invocation or ceremony, that's exactly what we're going to be doing on the 8th of the 8th. We're going to be engaging in this energy of the Lion's Gate portal. We're going to be intentional on what direction we would like our lives to go in, on what we would like a rebirth in our lives, connecting maybe to our ancestors to say, please help me to resolve this thing. I don't want to repeat this family karma, or I don't want to have to deal with this particular thing, or give me the strength to do something that takes a bit of courage. It's a time to let go, and it's a time to set new intentions, to have a new chapter, to have a rebirth. Maybe you can do your own little thing. Maybe you can write down all the things that you would like to let go of, that you feel hold you back. Resentment, pain, anger from the past, people that you usually wouldn't forgive. Ask for that to become easier for you, and then burn that piece of paper up into the ether on the full moon and ask for help with releasing those things. Watch that smoke go up into the air and see it going up into the ether, where spirit will take care of it. Okay, effortless. This card for me, and I had this in a couple of readings this week as well, is reminding us of the power of water and how it can be very powerful. It can wash things away, just like the poor people who are experiencing tsunamis and things like this in the world at the moment. Yeah, my heart goes out to them. But also, this is talking about how water just flows. It goes through the path of least resistance. Instead of fighting or trying to stay in go a specific route, it flows to wherever there is the easiest route for it to take. Its flow is effortless. But once it finds that route, it can actually literally cut new paths forward. Water is very erosive. Okay, it erodes very easily. It is very powerful. And it will eventually turn this this tiny waterfall into a large waterfall, or just erode these rocks away eventually over time completely. So it shows you how, if you follow the path, if you go with the flow, you could actually cut a new way forward for yourself. You could cut a new path forward, maybe for your generation or your family going forward, if you let go of this family karma, if you're willing to embrace this rebirth. You know, things like anxiety and stuff are also hereditary to a large degree, and that is a belief system that we hold. And sometimes it does carry that genetic, that cell memory. So we need to be responsible with that. We need to take ownership with that, and not let negative things flow into our next generations to the best of our ability. That is our responsibility to a large degree. And it's not here to give you a guilt trip if you're unable to do it. Life is hard, but we must do our best. And at the moment, you're asked to be going with the flow. Try to make things less resistant, more effortless. Okay, try to be accommodating, not resistant. I feel like those are all the cards. Then we got synergy as well. Working in synergy with others, with the land, you know, with earth. Yeah, I think that's all of them. Let's see what's coming up here. Okay, so this is the energy oracle, which a lot of you are familiar with. I usually use this Earth Magic Oracle for the mother and father healings. I use this for the 6 months ahead a lot of the time, depending on what kind of 6 months ahead you're looking for. But a lot of you will recognize this card deck as well. Okay, is there anything that goes with the rebirth card, please? Is there anything that goes with this that we need to know more about this? Here it comes. Indecision. Okay. Indecision in reverse. I don't read reversals for tarot at all, but when it comes to certain oracle cards, when they're made with that intention, I do. So this is making a decision. All right, this isn't indecision. It's the other way around. It's like your ability to now make a decision. It's also the number 8, which is a very powerful spiritual number. Please note, 8th of the 8th is when we're doing the Lionsgate portal, and it's saying to make a decision about this rebirth. Now is the time to do it. Now is not the time to be indecisive about it. It needs to happen. You need a rebirth in your life. And I think all of us could do with that. Okay, I think very few of us are going to say, I don't need that. I'm absolutely fine. There's nothing I need to let go of. My life's perfect. Okay, so it's like, don't dither about this. Don't hesitate. You need this in your life. Make that decision. Decide on what you're going to let go of. Make decisions about how you want to move forward, what you will and will not tolerate, what you do and do not want in your life, what you want to continue with and what you don't want to continue with. Okay, anything about the volcano and volatility, please? Here it comes. Happy family, all right. So that's what I was talking about, is like this couple that look like they are passionate and loving towards each other. I was talking about problems with communication. This could very easily happen happen amongst family members, where you are more inclined to give that person a hard time or be volatile with them. Again, a reminder to try and work towards that positivity, that happy family, that union, instead of that negativity. Yes, sometimes we need to say something, sometimes we need to be honest about something, and it has to be said, but there's also a gentle way in which we can do things, and we need to try and do that, especially now with Mercury retrograde, that is so volatile in itself and can really bring up that kind of energy. We've got a lot of different planetary things going on here, and it can really take its toll on us in terms of our energy levels. And also, if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling fatigued, if you're feeling strung out, you're going to take it out on people. So try to eat healthfully, try to get more sleep, try to drink a lot of water, you know, do the things you're meant to do. Try not to take too many stimulants like coffee or energy drinks all the time, because it is going to make you more edgy. Once again, be honest with yourself. Don't believe the BS that that's not something that affects you. Okay, they're stimulants. They're aggravating things. And I'm somebody who loves coffee. So once again, I'm not trying to preach to anybody, but I know if I have too much coffee, I'll eventually get a headache, or I will be a bit grumpy because I'm using coffee to keep myself awake. That can make me volatile. You know, rather go and sip a cup of herbal tea or something and calm yourself down instead of just being angry and overstimulated by stimulants. Okay, so again, I'm not telling anyone what to do. I'm not judging anyone, because I myself find myself in these situations where I should be pouring a cup of green tea, not a cup of coffee, and I'm overdoing it. So I'm taking my own advice here. Okay, the reflection and the winter solstice. Is there anything that goes with this reflection, please? Whoops. Okay, yes, I'm going to take them. Thank you. Just keep them the way they're supposed to be. Okay, so we've got appreciation in reverse. Are we looking at just the negative things? Are we looking at the negative things about ourselves, about other people around us? Do we need to be more appreciative and more in a place of gratitude for where we find ourselves, for the people we're surrounded by, for the talents that we have, for the things that we've achieved, for terrible situations that we may have escaped in our lives? It's a time to be grateful, all right, because your appreciation card is in the reverse position. She is appreciative of this one bloom that she sees, all right. She's got all these brambles around her, all these really bushy, thorny plants, but she is showing appreciation for that one beautiful rose that she's found. She chooses to see that instead. Okay, and this is number 6 as well, which encourages us to move forward in a positive way, to be grateful, because when we see a number 6, it shows our ability to overcome difficulties, to transcend things that we find challenging. Then we have Goddess of the Moon. Okay, beautiful time for reflection. The moon is all about reflection. It shines because of reflection, and it asks us to get into our emotions. The moon is about emotions, about our subconscious, about our feelings towards certain people, our compassion, our love, our gratitude. All of that comes from the moon as well. And this is encouraging us again to be reflective and tap into your intuition about how to do things. If you've known, and look, there's the waterfall in the background as well that we had for effortless. If you know that there's something you should be getting rid of or forgiving or moving on from, and you know it's not good for you, embrace this time. Allow spirit to help you. We don't have to hold on to things all the time. And you know why we hold on to things? Because we're scared of change. We're scared of changing who we are, our personality. What if I do change? Everyone's going to talk about how I've changed. Whether it is losing weight and you look great, and they say, oh, well, finally she's lost the weight. Or you go and you decide to change your hair. Or you just become a nicer person. Or you decide to move to the place you've always wanted to move to because that's what you want to do, and you're afraid of judgment. Do whatever you need to do. Follow your instinct. If you're in the wrong job, think about how you can move towards something that you really love doing. Okay, this is about fulfillment and being honest with ourselves and reflecting so that we can be doing things more intentionally, more with our intuition and with feeling. If you don't do your job or whatever you do with feeling, if you don't love sincerely, you are always going to feel that deficit, that emptiness. Okay, all tied up. This is in the reverse as well. So I feel like there's a lot of denial here in terms of what we're capable of, what we deserve, seeing obstacles in front of us that aren't really there. And this period, like with, as I was saying, with the Mercury retrograde energy, appliances can break. So your kettle breaks, and then the toaster doesn't want to work, and the car won't start, and someone kicks a football into your window. You know, all of these kind of things happen all the time during Mercury retrograde. People have bumper bashings, or they lose things. They can't find their car keys. It really can make you volatile. It can make you frustrated. It can be a very, very difficult time, and it can make you feel like everything I do is going to shit. Okay, that's honestly how it feels for us sometimes, and we really feel like we're stuck. And this is saying you are not stuck. You might feel like this, but that's not the truth. This is a temporary thing. You actually have the ability to change things. And I feel like it's through this invocation as well. Just for you to take that time to reflect and set an intention, say a prayer, whatever it is that you do or believe in. All right, and here you've got the world. It's a number 11. It's about balance, and it's saying to you, you need to broaden your horizons. You need to think out of the box. You need to take this time to reflect, to see how big the world is, to see how much you have accomplished thus far, and how much more is open and available to you, because you are limiting yourself. You have tunnel vision in terms of what is possible. And you need to ask Spirit to show you what is possible. That's one of the best ways to communicate with Him. You say, please show me how to do this. If you need to do something with sincerity and make that connection, it must come from the heart. Or you say, please show me what is possible. And they will show you what's possible. You will bump into that person or get that email or that phone call or whatever it is that needs to come into your path, but they will show you. This is saying the world is your oyster. You have potential to do things, to have this rebirth, to get out of this stuck energy that you're feeling at the moment. And now is a really great time to embody that and go for it. Don't think small. Don't look to the past, besides to see how far you've come and what is possible now, because you have grown so much, achieved so much, become a completely different person who is stronger and who's gone through all the things you've gone through. But guess what? Like my sister always says, her survival rate is 100%. Okay? Of all the crappy days you've had, your survival rate is 100%. All right, let's see. Invocation, is there anything about this, please? Ah, man holding a coin. All right, so there's somebody here that maybe does have the ability to increase their money, to find or take an opportunity. Maybe someone's coming in to present an opportunity to you, to offer a job, a partnership. This is usually also somebody who is maybe a bit older and wiser than us. It does not have to be a man, okay? It can be anybody. But they usually are older and wiser. And I always see this streak in this guy's hair. He's got this gray streak, which gives me this feeling of wisdom. He knows what he's doing. It's someone who can offer advice, whether that is a financial planner or a broker or a friend or somebody that's older that can tell you how to do something, you know, because they've had a long period of time in the game. Somebody who owns their own business that wants to offer you something, someone who wants to open a business with you. This is all about opportunities. This is about a helpful person who can be trusted, who will have integrity, okay, and can be of some assistance to you. And if you need that opportunity, this goes with the invocation card. I highly recommend you put it out there in a prayer, light a candle for yourself, do a customized intention setting session with me if you want to. However you want to do it, put it out there. Yeah, this is the potential to be very powerful energy. Okay, what goes with waterfall? Effortless, please. We're going to get a few cards. Oh, no, here we are. Okay, perfect. All right, somebody's not getting enough rest. I'm guilty of that. I've been trying my best to do it. It's probably why I got sick in the first place. And I've been trying this weekend to rest and then do some work, rest and do some work to catch up with what I need to do. But it is vitally important that this comes back into balance. The waterfall energy is effortless, okay? It's asking you to be in this space where you do make time for yourself. This is a number 10 as well, to close a cycle. If you're pushing yourself harder than you should, please know that no one's giving out badges and rewards for exhaustion, for burnout. And again, I'm preaching to myself. We need to do this. We need to make 10 minutes a day even, or 10 minutes 3 times a week for a bit of meditation. That's the only time we get that opportunity to do the reflection as well that we need to do. Okay? And the more we do this, the more effortless things become for us. The more we do go with the flow, the less resistant we are. All the things I spoke about when we spoke about the waterfall energy. You know, we literally can make a huge difference if our mind is in the right place, if we have that mental and emotional balance, if things are in their proper perspective, because we're not strung out and overstimulated. We can complete tasks, we can complete projects, we can complete cycles and even karmic cycles if we've got our head in the right space and if we're in control. Okay, and by control, I don't mean control and withholding and resistant, that tightness. I mean, control of our emotions and all of this, so that we can actually flow with what Spirit's trying to direct us towards. Okay, and then lastly, let me just see here what's at the bottom of the deck. Strategy in reverse. You need to have a strategy. How are you going to tackle this? Okay, not overthinking, not controlling. All your strategy has to be is maybe, okay, I'm going to meditate for 10 minutes 3 times this week. I'm going to try not to be volatile, but come from a place of love. I'm going to make the decision to embrace this rebirth, to have honest reflection about myself and the things I do and the way I act, and see which things are working for me and serving me and which are not, and which are hurting the people I love. What do I need to change? I'm not going to have that fear of changing, because that change is necessary and it's going to bring more happiness and peace to me. This is not just about you. This is about more than just you. It's about the people around you, and it's the difference you can make going forward for future generations. This is important energy. Okay. Last but not least, I would like to pull some animal spirit oracle, because I just feel like animals are important right now, and it's Lionsgate portal. So animals seem to just be coming up for me quite a bit, and I feel like animals are trying to communicate with us now, whether it's a past loved one that comes through as a bird. A lot of people see cardinals, doves. They pick up feathers all the time. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, you might see these animals, and you might see them on YouTube, you might see them on a bumper sticker, you might see them in a magazine, whatever it might be. Okay, what messages do we have from the spirit animal oracle this week, please? Whoa. Okay. Okay, I hear you. Oh, they're all red. How interesting. Look at that. So this is very much about your root chakra as well, which is about the money, like the man holding a coin. It's about physical things that we can change. The world, strategy, ceremony is spiritual, but it also involves doing physical things, lighting a candle, sitting down and saying a prayer, getting into a meditative state. Those are spiritual and physical things. And I feel like we might not feel very grounded right now. That's usually when your root really needs some work. Okay, the color red, eat red food, surround yourself with red, and ground yourself, because this is also where this indecision might be coming from. Look at that red cape she has. If you make the decision to embrace this rebirth and be honest with yourself and do the hard thing, you will remind yourself that many things that you've done that have been successful or that have provided growth in your life were through you moving through something that was a hard thing to do, whether it was voluntary or involuntary. Okay, so starfish, open to infinite possibilities. Okay, there we go. Open yourself up. Say, please show me what is possible. That's what I was saying. Put it out there. Invoke that energy and say, I'm willing to take action, or to be receptive to the information and the ideas and opportunities and people that can come into my life to bring this change for me. I'm open to infinite possibilities. And I say this to almost everyone I probably do a reading for, and if you've heard it, I apologize, but I'm going to say it again. We limit ourselves, and we project into our reality what we think is possible, and we base this on what we've experienced in our lives thus far. We have lived on this planet for a very, very short time. That is a drop in the ocean in comparison to the infinite possibilities in the universe, and the infinite amounts of experiences and feelings and emotions and all kinds of things that are out there, and possibilities. Don't limit yourself by thinking that you know everything because you've lived on this earth for a few years. Your few years are a blip in comparison. And it doesn't diminish our importance here, or our purpose, or our path. But remember that, and humble yourself, and know that there are infinite possibilities, and you don't know what those are. They have not yet come into your reality or your consciousness. So you can't know them until Spirit presents them to you. You must have at least once in your life been in a situation where you thought, well, this is what's going to happen. I know it's either this or this or this. And I always use a a story that I made up once long ago of if you had to sit at a coffee shop and witness a bumper bashing, someone drives into someone else, you're going to say, oh, okay, well, either this person has no insurance or they have insurance, or this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and we think we know everything. And someone off the street just walks up and says, don't worry, I saw what happened. If there's any damage, I've got plenty of money, I'll pay for it. You could never have foreseen that that would happen. But we presume that we know everything. Okay, and we give ourselves these limited options. I can do this, 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 or this. And Spirit says to you, no, you can actually also do this and this and this and this and this and this, because we could send you this person or this opportunity, or you could win this thing or go to this place and bump into this person or experience this thing. Because we're so limited, we're like horses with flaps on. Don't do that to yourself. Don't jeopardize yourself by thinking you know what's possible. Okay, I learned that the hard way as well. I feel like I have to do these in this order. Okay, here's your manifestation and invocation. The lizard spirit. Dream the world into being. Manifest what you want. Think about what you want. Think about what direction you want to move in that is going to be for the greater good, for your best interest. Do you want to hold on to negative stuff? Do you want to weigh yourself down? Do you enjoy always being miserable and anxious? Or would you like to really have real change? Do you recognize yourself if you're not miserable and anxious? Is that what you need to be honest about? If you haven't got something to complain about or feel nervous about or have anxiety about, is that your whole identity? Is that what you've allowed it to become? That's the hard thing that we need to look at, or the type of hard thing we need to look at when we're doing this reflection, when we're in denial about it, when we only see the brambles and we don't see the rose. Dream the world into being. Change it into what you want it to be. Become who you want to be, not who you are ashamed of being. Okay, because we are sometimes, but we're not willing to admit it to anybody. And there we go, see the big picture. Okay, so this is what I was saying about being a horse with flaps on, being in denial about things. We're all guilty of it. There's the world that came up for us. And they're both a number 11. A 9 and a 2 and a 9 and a 2. See the big picture. So you see the giraffe, he sees from high above. He's taller than anybody else, and he does have perspective. He sees things almost from a bird's eye view because he has that different perspective. He zooms out of a situation. He's not on the ground with all the other animals that are scuttling around and all busy and freaking out. He's calmly walking amongst the trees, nibbling on some leaves and keeping things in perspective and probably laughing at the drama that's going on down there. Don't allow yourself to be sucked into your little storm in a teacup all the time. Expand your horizons. Surrender now. The moth spirit. That's quite beautiful. The moth is rebirth and transformation. There's actually a moth in this card. And this card was telling you, make the decision. There, I see it over there. Oh, there's a few moths in here. That's like a butterfly wing. It's a very abstract kind of picture, but there's a butterfly wing. Let me just get the glare off of it. There I could see a butterfly's wing, and there's a moth. And it's saying literally, surrender now. Embrace the metamorphosis. Embrace the change. Don't resist it. Now is the time. Make the decision. Okay? Turn this indecision around. Now is as good a time as any, and we probably have thought about having this rebirth many times in our lives and never really had the courage to embrace it. You can change your reality, okay? Make the decision and claim it and do so. This is a good time to do it. Okay, I'm going to leave you all with that message. Oh, let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Another red one. Parrot spirit, watch your words. There we go. That's a beautiful message. Okay, remember this. When I said volatility, we have to be careful of, are we hurting people? Especially now with Mercury retrograde, where we can be misinterpreted and we can say things that we can't take back. Watch your words. A parrot can just chirp and, pick up all kind of swear words and stuff that people use all the time, and they can have a very filthy mouth very quickly. And I think that that's also a little warning for us. So again, focus on the people that you love and watch your words with the people that you love. Watch out for your volatility. Ground yourself. This root chakra color, I think we've got every red card probably in this deck, or very close. Look at that. And I can show you the rest of the deck. They don't all, okay, so there is a little bit of red there, but I mean, a lot of green, purples. We could have had any of those cards, but we've got red, red, red. Okay. I've made a nice mess now, but that's it. You got the message. I hope that this is going to speak to you and help you. If you need any help in, if you do want an energy session, you need any help in which one might be best suited to your particular situation, please give me a shout with the greatest of pleasure. You can get me on Telegram, or you can get me through any other means. Telegram is usually the best, but you can even comment here and I'll get hold of you somehow. All right. Lots of love to you and have a wonderful week further. Bye for now.